Yeah, it's interesting because the producer on the project is actually my fiance, and Vychan Owain, so it's Owain's daughter. So I've known Owain for 4 or 5 years now, and when I first met Enki, she told me this story about her dad. But prior to that, I had no idea who he was, or even really the history. In schools, this kind of history wasn't really taught for me because I'm Welsh and grew up in Wales. But I never remember learning, the story of Tywyn in school. So when she first told me about her dad, and then obviously the conversations after that, well, her dad was this person who sort of created a ripple effect, if you like. But actually, the full on history of that was quite shocking to me, really. So that was the first time even hearing about it. Was probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
And then it sort of slowly took shape in your mind as like, oh, maybe we should do a film about this.
Yeah, just and anybody that knows Owain as well is such a great character. And he had said to me one day, would you mind just kind of, maybe filming my dad, just because he's told me these stories for years over and over, maybe just film him so I've got them on camera and I can sort of watch them back. I was like, yeah, of course. And then it started to sort of take shape as to, oh, okay, maybe if we maybe make something out of it, so yeah, it all kind of came very naturally and kind of organically. And I guess being that close to the subject I've spent 2 years working on it, that it wasn't just a little sit down interview, that we kind of did the story justice,
I was going to say about the sort of format of it is because obviously you've got these very compelling interview segments, but then you've got reenactments and you've got drone shots and all that. So it's actually quite a big, complex film. Was that tricky to kind of both find the right format for it and then also just the logistics of getting all those pieces together?
Yeah, I think it's because I did do that. I let him sit and I filmed for about 2 hours, to the point where the camera overheated and died at one point. So I only had this very small segment of audio while I was trying to, I think I took it outside or put it outdoor, trying to get it to cool down, because I just wanted it to unfold and let him talk, kind of thing. And so then when I came to edit, that was quite overwhelming to think, oh God, he sat there for 2 hours and now I need to find some sort of structure and, piece this together for other people to kind of figure out, because obviously when he's telling the story, it's back and forth and it's here and it's there, and trying to get it to sort of follow a structure. And then as soon as I did that, I realized how, what the story needed, and all those drone shots, like you're saying, some of those reenactments. So it was through the edit process that all these other pieces would come together.
Right.
Again, so it was just very natural sort of process, really refreshing, I guess, because there's been no pressure on it, in a sense, because it maybe felt like quite a close project. And then as the time's gone on, it's become a realization, oh no, this is really nice, and this is quite big, and it's so yeah, those things just kind of came naturally in the edit.
Right. I was going to say no pressure, but then so as we're speaking, I think your trailer was only released a few days ago, isn't it? And so
Yeah.
you've had quite a big response already, and people are really engaged with it. So what's that been like?
That's been really, really nice. Really nice. I've had a couple of times from projects I've done where you've had that instant feedback. And obviously this is just a trailer. So, but to have that instant feedback is really nice, and to have it with a subject that is so close as well. So we've been going back to Owain and saying, look at what everybody's saying, or every day when we phone him, he's like, oh, what's the views on now? And that's really, really nice to have him experience it as well. But it is even more rewarding because it started out as no pressure, and then obviously, as the first people to see it were Owain and his wife Doran. That was one of the because when you watch your own work in festivals and stuff, it's a very nerve-wracking experience, because all your work is there to show, and we see all the flaws. So sitting there watching it on the TV in their living room was one of the most palpable experiences, because that was then pressured. I want him to be happy with it, and his family to be happy with it, obviously. So that was a big pressure, and then putting it out and getting that response is just really, really special. It was really nice.
Great. So, I mean, we're getting an early preview of it now, but what are your hopes for the film? Is it too clunky to say, like, is it similar to him in the sense you want to make a ripple, you want to shake things up? Is that the idea with the film or the ambition for it?
Yeah, I guess now that it's, yeah, I guess maybe shake things up a little bit. I think more than anything, and the reason for the title and my reasons for doing it in English as well, were to, it's such a universal story, really. His story, not necessarily the bombing and stuff like that, and his actions, but this kind of desire to stand up for what you believe in, and then everything that happened in his life, throughout that, those ups and downs, to kind of bring that human element, to the story. Because we all, if you're in Wales, and I guess the majority of people, or more people, are becoming aware of it now, but it's only ever been told from kind of hyper focused on Cofiwch Llewellyn, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to kind of showcase just one small action, where it can lead to, because now 50 plus years later, we've got all these Cofiwch Llewellyn signs and Yes Cymru, and that has become quite big now, and what his actions were 50 plus years ago. So I guess it is to shake things up a little bit, but more so than that is to just kind of get a wide audience to some of the history that's gone on in Wales, or some of the fact that we are a country, just like France or Italy, or smaller countries. We are a country, and sort of to be passionate about that, I guess. Yeah.
Well, you've got loads of people ready to watch the from the trailer reactions alone. So just best of luck with it, getting it out.
Yeah, thank you.